Hello, everybody, and welcome back to a weekend quickie of Crypt. Oh my God, and oh my God is exactly the kind of shit that's going on right now because I have never seen a US president get so deep into the weeds of crypto. He is in the trenches and it's fucking blowing my mind. Now, I want to give a quick thank you to my friend Casey Neistat, who actually out of nowhere tweeted about my channel. So that's like very, very reinforcing to me and it fills my heart with a lot of joy. He's been there for me many times in the past and he continues to do so. So anyone that came off of that recommendation, I'm really glad to have you here as a sub and I hope to keep engaging you and make this fun and interesting, right? Now, one thing I will say in his comments, there were a lot of people that were like, oh man, crypto's a scam, bummed to see this, bummed to hear about it. And I just want to address that because one thing I really do hope to do with this channel is separate again that wheat from the chaff. I've used that term before because in the crypto industry, if you're not paying attention to a lot of the technology that is real, that is striving to create this open world, this open sourced world where people can launch financial protocols, where people can have more control of their money, where they can build these things that really will revolutionize how we interact on this digital world that we are entering, even as it crosses over into reality. A lot of the banking system is really old. It doesn't work. And this is an update. This is how AI is going to interact. This is the truth layer to the internet. Again, this is how we can track when data enters the internet, when it gets manipulated, when it gets added, have a reputation score based off everyone that's touched it. All of that is blockchain technology. We will use the word crypto over it, but I will try to be clear in using my terminology and vernacular as to what part of the tech stack I refer to. Now, that being said, it's open source, it's free, it's available. The idea is that anyone can launch things. When that happens, when that kind of freedom is expressed, you're going to get loads of garbage. It's just part of the case. To have freedom of speech, the best, most fundamental of our American rights, means that you have to listen to a ton of bullshit. It's the same thing in the crypto space, and what we're going to do is try to look through all that garbage onto the things that actually bring clarity, that bring real growth, and that have fundamental value. Now, that being said, I do want to dive into the craziest fucking thing that happened last night, which was this Trump crypto ball. Now, I live far away. I'm on the West Coast, so unfortunately I didn't get to make it. But I am a New Yorker at heart. I spent 16 years there. And it's very exciting for me to see this hub that is so close now to Washington, D.C., and everybody that was able to take advantage of this. This is, again, the U.S.'s first moment, and this moment indicates that the United States as a government level is open to the idea. At the very least, they're open to the concept of crypto. Previously, it's been the people's elbow, wham! And we've been getting beaten up and coming into work with black eyes every day, and it sucked. So this is a really cool, evocative kind of feeling. Get into the thing that really surprised me. I unfortunately missed this because I took my wife out on a date on a Friday, which is the most guaranteed way to lose money fast or to miss out on really quick gains. Just do not have a social life, a personal life. I highly recommend against it or advise against it. It's just not the way to make it in this game. You got to be in the trenches, you got to be lonely, and you got to be sad. So what happened and what I missed was that Trump announced his meme coin. This is a meme coin on Solana. A lot of people are saying, oh, this is the thing for Solana. One thing I do want to note, he has a DeFi protocol, World Liberty Finance. It's on Ethereum. It is a fork of the Aave borrowing lending platform, and it is targeting the US accredited audience to borrow against crypto assets. Now, this official Trump coin comes out. I totally miss it, but anybody who got in that first hour, right, below $10, like amazing gains, really good opportunity. And that's one thing I want to keep in mind, that this coin, regardless of anything else that comes after this statement, was available to purchase broadly. If you were aware, if you were in the know, you actually had a good buying opportunity for an entire hour. That's a pretty insane thing in a world that is heavily botted, right? They can really snipe immediately. Now, this is Coingeck that I'm using here to check out this data. It's really amazing. We can see the market cap. We can see the fully diluted valuation, which assumes, let's say we take this $27 price and we extrapolate it to all of the tokens. That's how we would get a fully diluted valuation. That thing's a little bit off because all of the tokens are not liquid. So it's a bit of a imagination game in the FDV, and it's not something I generally follow. What I want you to focus is on the contract. Let's say you want to buy this token. You can copy this contract address and go to one of the Solana dexes like Jupiter or Radium. Plug that in. You can trade it for Sol. However, I'm going to copy and paste this because I want it a little bit later. Now, very quickly, just looking at Cryptobubbles.net, this looks at the broader market, what tokens are doing, and we can see that this is a Solana market right now. So you've got Sol coming up with Jupiter and Radium, the two top exchanges on Solana. Bonk, the biggest meme coin that is on the chain itself, and Fartcoin, the new meme coin in the game. Now, Trump has come out here big bubble. You can see the movement. It's really taking the wind out of all of the rest of the industry and putting it right here into what I can call the meme coin basket on Solana, right? It's actually, now that I think about it, probably perfect for an ETF. And obviously all eyes are on Trump. So if you do want to long short it, you can actually hit Perpetual's market on Hyperliquid, which is an interesting new decentralized exchange, and give it a try if you like. Getting back to Trump, I want to come to app.bubblemaps.io. I'm going to paste in that contract address that I got, and that's going to open official Trump. This is what I'm going to use to look at the wallet holders, and this is a very important topic on this coin. Now, you can see the distribution here. It's not a crazy grid. It's a fairly young coin. What I want to do is go over here to wallets list, open that up. And here's the other sort of take on this asset. It does have the traditional hallmarks of a pump and dump scam. That being that 80% of the coins are locked into one wallet. The issuing entity retained 80%. When we talk about a fair launch, I mean, the fairest launch would be 100% going out there with the team having locked up contracts that you can actually check out on chain. Again, transparency is the idea. In this instance, we have 80% coming from the launching wallet, and we don't really know much about it. From there, you've got some whales. You've got Bybit. It's actually trading it. So hot damn, that's a centralized exchange that got on this very, very quickly. And Meteora pool. Now, one thing that I do want to talk about is Meteora. This is how they launched the asset, and they actually did a pretty good job. As people launch tokens in a fair market, or a fair launch, I should say, approach, they use something like Meteora. And what they do is they establish a pool that is part the token, part a stablecoin. And generally speaking, you open it up with about an 80-20 split on the coin to the stablecoin asset. That means that as people start buying the coin, they input the stablecoin. The market is supposed to find an equilibrium. We often do auctions, which are called like reverse Dutch auctions, where people will actually buy it until that price, again, finds that balance over a course of generally 3 days. And once the market says we're comfortable with that price, they'll close those pools. All the coins that were sold for dollars, stable coins, those will be removed, and that's funding for the team. They can use that to build in the future. And then you can close that pool, keep those dollars, take some more tokens, reopen a new pool on a decentralized exchange that is more of a 50-50 split. Then that market will live in perpetuity, and people will trade the price depending on how they feel it is worth. So to have 80% in one wallet, obviously very scary. They can skew a lot of the way these things work. However, as I said, they did a good launch. No snipers got in early. Snipers are bots. When these things are really hyped, they'll figure out what that smart contract is. And at launch, they will scoop up a large supply. They somehow kept this very quiet. There was no real sniping. And all that is to say, there was a really good opportunity for anyone that wanted to YOLO their money in here, just yeet that shit, pure degenerate style. They were able to do so. So degens got heavily rewarded here. Again, that was probably the people in the first hour that just kind of saw the announcement on Twitter and said, fuck it, I'm not doing any diligence, right? I'm sure they didn't look at the token wallets. I'm sure they didn't consider themselves or concern themselves with this 80%. They just said, fuck it, take my money. This is Trump. Now, you know, something interesting to look at is I just found this from @LightCrypto, 13 million in top of the book bid liquidity pulled from the team on Trump. This is that pool that I was talking about, right? They filled it with a lot of Trump. People bought it, so it filled up with dollars, and they took 13 million of those dollars. That's not really a great sign to, indicate that they're long-term committed. This is something that would be in your traditional dump phase of a pump and dump. The team, who's putting up nothing but a token, was able to sell enough of those tokens to have this pool filled with money. And a lot of times people don't know they're filling the pool, right? They think I'm buying the token. What you're really doing is you're giving your cash to somebody in specific rather than a decentralized marketplace because this launching team controls the pool itself. So they're able to withdraw. It's not something that stays in there to be traded back and forth forever. They say, I'm going to close this initial pool, and they can open it up later or do whatever they want with the money. Oftentimes, this is actually the correct approach. That 13 million could be used to build a product if that's what the team is marketing or something to that effect. But in this case, really hard to tell. Less than 24 hours after launch, 13 mil gets pulled. It's not the best sign in the world. Now, conversely, there's this really interesting idea out here from Vixpiration. The VIX is a marketplace in traditional stock, traditional finance that reflects sort of volatility. It's actually called the volatility index. You could say it's panic or confidence, right? That's how people look at things. When it goes up, panic is increasing. They think it's going to be more volatile. When it goes down, consistency, and confidence. So now we have not only free money from the coin itself for those who caught it, but mainly a liquid index along with derivatives to trade Trump's future actions as long as things stay relevant. This is really fascinating. In the Trump-Biden election itself, we saw poly market and predictions markets come out as a truth sayer, as a source of really good truth. Again, the decentralization of opinions, especially when money is behind it and people just want to win, profit, or lose, they tend to actually find truth very well. So the concept here that Vixpiration is pointing out is that maybe this asset itself will be used as a way to prove people's confidence in the president-elect himself, right? Again, there is a spot market for this, so people can buy the token, but on Hyperliquid, they can also use perpetuals, which means they can long it, they can short it. So depending on how this market trades, it could be something that is in direct correlation with the national or global confidence in Donald Trump and how he continues to move. So this is all pretty wild, and it's some really interesting stuff to chew on. Again, we're going to see crypto and the blockchain itself make a market out of everything possible. I guarantee you this is going to happen, especially when regulators kind of pull back on their reins a little bit and step away. This is what we're going to see with the Trump org. He's not only saying that we're going to be okay with crypto, but he's actually engaging in it himself in a way that was previously considered scary to the layman, right? They thought if you were to launch something like this in the United States publicly facing, that the SEC would come after you for securities regulations. So all of this is wild. It's a very interesting time. What it means for the crypto industry moving forward is that we seem to have free reign. I personally would like to see the US citizens involved back in airdrops. That's free money. That's a bootstrapping mechanism that networks use. And it's really hard to be a US citizen and see somebody in the SEC who's supposed to protect you from bad investments just say, hey, we're going to keep you away from free money simply because the people issuing it are scared that they will be doing an illegal securities violation. And like, at some point, who gives a shit about securities? I just want, if I participated and if I contributed, I want an airdrop, man. Like, it's one of the best ways to get started in the cryptocurrency industry if you have no capital to invest. You can go into the protocols, you can click, you can use, and they will reward you as an initial user with their bootstrap liquidity. This is one of the most powerful marketing tools in the cryptocurrency industry, and it's a very useful way to reward your early users. Hopefully from there, they stick around, you build your product, coin price goes up, you actually hit product market fit, everybody wins. So that's my take on the Trump coin and what happened over the course of, a couple hours since I woke up. And it's up to you to get in or out of this. I have no viewpoint on the asset itself. I do think it will be interesting. We'll be following it along. And as always, good luck out there, guys.